Hi, everyone who's anyone is talking about Ozempic and all its family members. Today, we're going to be talking about whether Ozempic is bad for you and why you may decide to use it. Hi, I'm Fumilola. I'm a mom of two and a Canadian licensed pharmacist. I am on a journey of self discovery, and my hope is to inspire at least one person who will be able to pursue what they've always loved to do. Today, we're going to be talking about Ozempic. So, I'm going to be wearing my pharmacist hat today. And I have a whole thing prepped so that I don't ramble on. So I'm going to be looking at my tablet a little bit. Okay. So first of all, before I tell you guys about Ozempic, I'll just explain some background information to help you understand it more and be able to make your choices. So I'm going to tell you guys about something called a receptor. So think about like a puzzle piece that has like a unique shape, right? So every time something that has, so maybe something like this, so every time something that is this comes, it clips into it and then it helps this to work properly. So um Ozempic belongs to a group of drugs called GLP-1 receptor antagonists. So a receptor, like I said, is like a puzzle piece, and so when it finds something to clip to it, that thing can either make it work better or make it work less. So agonists are things that help something to work better, and antagonists are things that help something to work less. So when there's a receptor in your body, it sits there, it's waiting for the right piece to come along and to fit it perfectly. So once it fits it perfectly, that piece will then do what it's supposed to do. So an agonist is a drug or a molecule that fits into the receptor like a puzzle piece and completes the picture and helps that receptor to work better. When it helps the receptor to work better, it activates it, and once it completes the puzzle, it will like trigger a specific response in your body. Okay, so I'll tell you guys what the GLP-1 is. So GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide. Number one, um, receptor. It's like a. I'll explain. Okay, so when you eat, your body releases a hormone that's called GLP-1. It helps your pancreas produce insulin, and then it lowers your blood pressure. Remember what I said about agonists? So Ozempic and its cousins are they belong to a class of drugs that are called GLP-1 agonists. So basically, they click to the receptor for the GLP-1s and help them to work better. Okay, so GLP-1 agonists are like supercharged versions of the hormone. So they'll boost your body's natural ability to lower your sugar, to make you feel full for longer, and to slow down your digestion. I mean, that's how it helps weight management. So these GLP-1 agonists like Ozempic and its family members, semaglutide, that's Ozempic, Saxenda, Victoza, all those drugs that everybody has been raving about in the news now. So they mimic the hormone that's called the GLP-1. The hormone will regulate sugar, control appetite, all those nice yummy things that helps us to lose weight. So it's like helping your body to help it to work and to be more in sync. So, what are some of the benefits of these GLP-1 agonists, aka Ozempic and its cousins? So normally when we eat, our body releases GLP-1. What does it do? Like we've talked about it, it will help your pancreas produce more insulin. Insulin is that hormone that lowers sugar, right? And then it will slow down how fast food is moving through your stomach. So the food sits down there for a little bit longer, so you're not hungry like every other time. And it signals to your brain to curb hunger, so we don't eat more than what we need. It also helps your brain to stop craving food, which I mean means that you can stick to a healthier eating habit, right? Easier. So these will trigger eat less. Weight loss is basically calorie deficit, so less calorie in than calorie that's going out. So if you eat less, fewer hunger cravings, healthier eating habits, and then that will help you to shed a couple more pounds. For people with type 2 diabetes, their body don't produce enough insulin or it doesn't use it properly. So boosting insulin levels means that it will help their body to have more insulin to be able to lower their blood sugars. Okay, so which brings me to something that a lot of people talk about when it comes to Ozempic: food noise. So what is food noise? I'm gonna cue in. I was listening to something from Oprah recently, and she was talking about her experience with the GLP-1 agonist, aka Ozempic and its cousins. And she was talking about, the first time she took this medication, she understood that not only was like, oh, everyone knows, oh, obesity is a disease, it's a condition, there's a lot of struggles and all that and all that. But she realized that she wasn't even thinking about food. So, like, imagine, okay, so if you want to know what food noise is, imagine when you're hungry and all you can think about is food and what you're going to eat and how it's going to help you. And oh my God, I just need to get home to eat something. Now, magnify that by like 100 times, and then imagine that that's what's going on with you every hour and every minute of the day. For a lot of people who have weight issues, that's actually the problem. You have food noise. Like, you're constantly thinking about food. What are you going to eat? How are you going to prep it? What's going to happen? You're worried you're not going to have enough food. There's a lot of stuff. So not having food noise means that you can focus on other things. You're not thinking about eating all the time. And of course, if you're not thinking about eating all the time, there's less chances you're going to put food in your mouth, and less calories in, more calories out. And then you lose weight. So GLP-1 agonists, aka Ozempic and its cousins, are great when it comes to quieting food noise. And it has been found to help in many situations, even for people who are post-bariatric surgery, because food noise is still a thing even after surgery. So how do GLP-1 agonists, Ozempic and its cousins, help with food noise? It tells your brain when you're full, it reduces emotional cravings, it improves portion control, and it helps reset your relationship with food. There was a journal that I read, a study that said it even found that it helps you gravitate more towards less calorie dense foods, less fatty foods, and less energy rich foods. So you're eating less calories. Your brain is drawn to calorie light foods. Basically, you're not trying to eat calorie dense foods. And I mean, if you're able to do that, so what are the real life impacts this can have? Fewer late night cravings, not obsessing about what to eat next, feeling satisfied with smaller portions, breaking free from the guilt craving cycle. One study found that it modulated taste preferences, lowering preference for fatty foods and energy dense foods, and then less pleasure eating, right? I do have to mention that there is a drug that is classed with Ozempic and the rest, but it's Mounjaro tirzepatide, which is, it's like Ozempic, but it's a little bit more efficient because apart from being a GLP-1 agonist, it also targets GIP, the glucose-dependent isonotropic peptide, that may help with even greater appetite suppression and weight loss. So it enhances, so while GLP-1 will enhance insulin production, the GIP enhances the insulin response. So together, both of them will target sugar control and hunger reduction effectively, which means, I mean, up to 20% higher than, so the clinical trial that I saw said clinical trials showed that up to 20% of body weight at highest doses were lost as against the other medication. So there was a clinical trial that I saw that was talking about comparison of Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro. I'm going to link a table about that, and then we're going to talk about that table. Okay. So how do we use these medications? These medications are subcutaneous injections. What that means is they are tiny needles that you inject in areas of your body that are fatty. So like we can see, the areas of the body that are fatty behind the arms, 2 inches away from your belly button, around your stomach, and then, well, some Reddit threads talk about putting it in their thighs, and if you have someone to give the injection to you, you can put it at the back of your arms as well. Okay, so now we're going to talk about who can use these medications. Okay, so studies have shown that people that have diabetes, with kidney disease, risk of heart failure can benefit because it has shown great potential in protecting the heart and the brain. That's number one. Number two, people who have type 2 diabetes because it can help with blood sugar control and also weight loss. That's number two. Number three are people who don't have type 2 diabetes but have obesity. So it helps with weight loss by like we talked about, helping you feel fuller for longer, quieting food noise, and just helping your body to produce more insulin to break down your glucose supplies. Okay, Um, so there is some theoretical future use about it being able to help with PCOS, and maybe even in type 1 diabetes. For now, it's not recommended, but the study that I was reading was saying that it might be able to help type 1 diabetes survivors to, plus in conjunction with their insulin, to be able to stabilize their sugar levels. It also talked about possibility in being able to reverse the progression of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So it's important to talk to your doctor though, because like every medication, your doctor is going to have your history and will be able to tell you if you can use this medication along with some of the other comorbidities that you might have, so like other things that are going on with you. So now that you know a little bit about Ozempic and its cousins, do you think that this medication is right for you, and do you think you're going to be taking these medications? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Bye guys.